I'm Isis Romero, and this is the news in San Antonio. Today marks 1 year since Suzanne Simpson was last seen in Olmos Park. According to an arrest warrant, the night Suzanne disappeared, a neighbor saw her and her husband Brad arguing when it turned physical. To this day, her body has not been found. Brad Simpson faces a murder charge in her disappearance. Simpson's next court appearance is scheduled for January 20th. His trial is scheduled for February 13th. An 11-year-old boy's murder confession is raising red flags for Gonzales ISD, which is now suing the child and his grandmother. Last year, while attending another district, the boy told authorities he killed a stranger in 2022. The boy's grandmother now wants him to attend Gonzales ISD. But as Zach Briggs explains, Gonzales ISD argues this would jeopardize the safety of others.
According to the lawsuit, the boy went through a psychiatric evaluation that was performed last year, which revealed an alleged history of violent behavior. And it's because of these details that Gonzales ISD decided to pursue legal action to make sure this child stays out of the classroom.
It was last year when the boy confessed to authorities that he killed Brandon Raspberry in 2022. He was 7 years old at the time, too young to be charged with murder. Court documents say the child found his grandfather's gun and shot Raspberry because he told him to shut up earlier in the day. According to the suit, the evaluation revealed concerns about the boy allegedly killing a litter of puppies, destroying property, choking his grandmother, and sexually abusing a family member. The psychological report concluded that the boy presents significant signs of sociopathy, which have been present from an early age. The doctor also noted the child requires intensive treatment and supervision that can only be provided in a residential treatment center. The boy's grandmother is objecting to the district's desire to place him in a residential treatment facility. In September, she filed a special education due process hearing with the Texas Education Agency. This led to the TEA ordering the child remain in a general education setting while the dispute plays out. But Gonzales ISD's legal team argues this action endangers the well-being of teachers and students.
Meantime, this case remains in the hands of a federal judge, and I did reach out to attorneys for both Gonzales ISD and the defendant. They did not want to comment at this time. In Gonzales, I'm Zach Briggs, KENS 5.
You see Spurs gear everywhere in San Antonio, but Texas law bans wearing it at the polls this November. That includes San Antonio stock show and rodeo apparel. Both are considered election materials because of Prop A and B. Meredith Haas explains what you need to know.
Well, part of that voting process is going to include not wearing any kind of Spurs logos, jerseys, you name it. But you can come here today to the Bexar County Elections Office to register to vote. Prop A, which is whether $192 million in hotel and rental car tax funds should go toward renovating and expanding the Frost Bank Center, Freeman Coliseum, and rodeo grounds. Then there's Prop B, the one we've been talking about for months. Whether to put more than $300 million toward a new downtown Spurs arena. You'll want to visit the Bexar County Elections Office on South Frio to register. You can also go to your local library or government office to have it signed and mailed. As a reminder, when you go to the polls November 4th, it doesn't matter how big of a fan you are. No Spurs jerseys, no Spurs t-shirts, hats, nothing. And no stock show and rodeo apparel of any kind either. They're not allowed within 100 feet of a polling place. It's because Texas elections law says anything tied to the ballot measures counts as electioneering. They say they just want to keep things fair. But if you need more information, you can call 210-335-VOTE or 210-335-8683. As always, you can find more information on our website at KENS5.com or head on over to the KENS 5 Plus app. Meredith Haas, KENS 5.
Starting next November, gasoline-powered vehicles between 2 and 24 years old will require emissions testing if they're registered in Bexar County. As Jeremy Baker reports, the new requirement is in response to rising air pollution levels that pose a growing health risk.
The EPA says pollution is on the rise across much of the country, including here in South Texas. That's why the state of Texas has developed a state implementation plan to improve air quality and reduce the long-term threat of health consequences.
It's indicative of a trend we're seeing because of changes in the climate and increased urbanization. And ozone pollution is a predictor of development of asthma in children, too.
The American Lung Association's 2025 State of the Air report found that 156 million people, or 46% of the U.S., is living in areas with unhealthy levels of air pollution. The San Antonio metro, including New Braunfels and Kerrville, was named the 20th most polluted metro in the nation. However, both the Houston-Pasadena Metroplex and Dallas-Fort Worth Metro fared worse, ranking 7th and 10th, respectively.
Anytime you see yourself climbing in those ranks, it's not a good sign for the citizens of that town.
When it comes to driving, there are things you can do to help reduce emissions. Drive less and try to walk or bike more. Use public transportation, carpool or rideshare. Keep your vehicle well maintained and limit idling. There are things you can do at home to reduce emissions too and save energy and money. Conserve electricity, choose efficient appliances, limit outdoor burning of things like trash and leaves, and use green lawn equipment instead of gas-powered.
It just takes all of us understanding the risks of dirty air and being committed to doing something about it.
For the complete State of the Air report, head to this story on KENS5.com. In the studio, Jeremy Baker, KENS 5.
Parts of the Kerrville River Trail and Louise Hayes Park have now reopened following the deadly July 4th flooding in the Hill Country. The city says visitors are urged to stay on designated paths, follow posted signs, and avoid closed bridges and construction areas. They also say the reopening is a major step in the ongoing recovery efforts, but full restoration will take time. And that's the news in San Antonio.